Hey guys, welcome to Basic Math this Monday. I hope everyone had an okay weekend. Looks like I'm on just a tad early, so I'm going to wait a little bit and see if more people join us. But you can see we're going to be covering circles today.
Right. Oh, no, I won't. No, you know what I do? I use this. Well, no, I use it as speaker in the. So instead of sugar, this.
Okay, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So you can see over the right, we're going to focus on kind of three parts of a circle today. So when you see a circle, most all of the circles, or all of them, are going to have a point right in the middle. And that, in this case, we'll identify this as A. So when you see that point A, if you're referring, someone says, what is the name of that circle? It would be circle A. So the point in the middle, right here, is always going to be the name of what the circle is. Okay, so whenever you see a point in the middle, there's going to be a letter next to it, and that is going to identify the circle. Okay, so what we will see with most circles is you're going to see a line that goes all the way through. So the line that goes all the way through is going to be the diameter. So if I have a P here, and let's say like a K there, the diameter is going to be the line that goes all the way through. So that would be PK. So you can see that it starts on one side, goes on there. So it's that line that goes all the way through the circle is going to be called the diameter. And the one last thing we're going to have is what's called the radius. And the radius is like half of the diameter. So if I have like we'll say a Q there, and let's say we have an O here. I'm not going to use O, I'm going to use Z. So the radius would be the Z to the A, and also the Q to the A. So really we have three parts. You know, we have the actual circle itself, which is going to be identified by the letter right in the middle. Okay, we're going to have the diameter, which goes all the way through the circle. And then we're going to have the radius, which is, you know, basically halfway through the circle. In this case, it's a Z to the A and the Q to the A. Okay, so let's do another one just so we get a little more familiar with this. So we'll say a point in the middle here. We'll say this point is L. So in this case, we're identifying this is circle L. Okay, and remember the diameter goes all the way through. So we're going to put, and I'll try to use a different color. We'll try to put, I'll put O over here, and we'll put W there. So the diameter of this circle would be WO. Would be WO. And remember the radius is going to be half of the diameter. So we could have a couple points. We'll put X, and then we'll put B. So in this case, the radius would be LB and also LX. And the thing you have to keep in mind is the diameter goes all the way through the circle. As you can see, it goes all the way through. And the radius is just halfway through. So radiuses are usually 1/2 of the diameter. So if you know what the diameter is, you're also going to know what the radius is, and vice versa. Because remember, the diameter is twice the radius, or the radius is 1/2 a diameter. And what I want to do, I want to show you, we'll get into this a little bit more. Say we have another circle here. And we have a point right in the middle. We'll say this is circle A. Okay. And we will do the diameter on this. We'll say it's B. We'll say F. Now, if we know BF, the diameter is BF. Now, let's say the length of the diameter is, we'll say it's 12 inches. And then we have a radius of, we'll just say a C. So we know the diameter is 12 inches. Or the radius? Well, the radius is always going to be half of the diameter. So in this case, if it's AC, we're going to know that is 6 inches. Because the radius is always 1/2 of the diameter. Okay. And say in this case, we didn't know what the length of the diameter was. If I erase this, and we only knew the radius was 6 inches, we knew CA was 6 inches. But keep in mind, the diameter is 2 times the radius. So in this case, we know the radius is 6. So if we plug 6 into the radius and just multiply that by 2, it's going to give us 12. Okay, so what you have to keep in mind is if we're looking at some formulas here, the diameter is 2 times the radius, okay? And the radius is 1/2 of the diameter. So when you're looking at a circle and it's asking you to find the diameter or the radius, and you only have one, that's really all you need. So let's look at one other circle, and I'll show what I mean here. So in this circle, say it's circle L, and we know the radius, so if we have L, and we'll say K, that's a radius. So if we know LK is, let's say it's 8 inches. Okay, so we know the diameter is going to be 2 times the radius. So we know what the radius is. We have radius LK is 8 inches. So what we would do is, for the diameter, we would do 2 times the radius. In this case, that's going to be 16. So the diameter equals 16. So if we basically looked at, I'll try to put this in red, if we go KM, we're going to know that KM is 16. Just based on our basic formulas of radius and diameter. So just always keep in mind the radius is half of the full, diameter. The diameter goes all the way through the circle. The radius only goes halfway through the circle. Okay. And one last thing I want to introduce is just kind of area. And if they ask you to find the area of the circle, area is going to be this little thing. It's called pi r squared. So what pi is, it's just a formula that is 3.14. And what I encourage you guys to do is, use your phone or use a calculator when you're doing this, because pi a lot of times is built into your phone, or if you're at school here, those graphing calculators have a specific pi on them. And it'll give you, if you do it 3.14, sometimes the answer is going to be off a little bit. It's not wrong, but pi kind of goes on forever. Like if you just like Google pi, you'll understand that pi kind of goes on forever. It's a kind of a repeating fraction. So when you're asking to do area, you're just going to plug in the radius square times 3.14. So in this case, we know the radius is 8, so it'd be 8 square, so just 8 times 8, that's going to be 64. And then you would do 3 times 14 times 64. And that's going to give you the area of the circle. Okay, so those are just 3 things I want to focus on today. I just want you to remember the diameter, the radius, and then this area formula. Area is pi r square. I'm going to post some practice. First of all, identifying, I want to have you identify in circles kind of what the name of the circle is. So on the practice, you'll get kind of a circle. It's going to have something right in the middle. It's going to have a point. Say this one's K. It'll also give you the diameter. In this case, we'll say it's L, N. And then you're also going to have some radiuses. So in this one, it'd be like KZ would be the radius. And also maybe KB. And you're going to know that the diameter goes all the way through. So the diameter will be LN. And remember, the circle is always identified by that letter right in the middle. So in this case, it's going to be K. Okay. And then I'm going to have you do some practice of finding, the radius, what the diameter is, and the area. On the sheet I'm going to give you, it's also going to ask for circumference, but just cross circumference out. I'm not interested in having you find the circumference right now. We're not going to ask you to do that right now. When you get into intermediate and advanced, we'll get into circumference. Right now, I just want you to be able to find the radius, the diameter, and the area. And remember, diameter is just, the formula is 2 times the radius. Radius is 1/2 of the diameter, and the area is going to be that 3.14 times the radius squared. And squared just means it's the radius times the radius. So in this case, if the radius is 4, it would just be 4 times 4. When you square a number, you just multiply it times itself. Okay. You guys, all the answers will be on there. Remember, just cross out the circumference. I'm not so interested in having you do that right now. All right, that's it for today, you guys. Have a wonderful day, and I will post some practice probably tomorrow. We're not going to do a live class. We do it in person on Tuesday, but we'll be back on Wednesday. All right, you guys, have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.